Thanks everyone. My name is Leo, and this is my Capstone 1 project. My topic is data-driven insights into mental health. Today the goal is simple. Use a large synthetic depression dataset to see how demographics, lifestyle, health, and socioeconomic factors line up with history of mental illness. After cleaning and outlier handling, we analyze 408K records and compare two groups with or without a history of mental illness. Data cleaning and income outliers. This box plot flags extreme incomes on the high end. We trimmed using the IQR rule. The idea is to focus on the realistic income ranges, so downstream comparisons aren't distorted. How common is the history of mental illness? 30.5% report a history of mental illness, and 69.5% do not. This anchors all later percentages. Who's in the dataset? Age splits fairly evenly across 18 to 39, 40 to 59, and 60 to 80. Income skews lower. Under 35K is the largest group, then 35 to 75K, then over 75K. Keep that in mind when we look at income mental health patterns. Age trend in mental illness history. The line nudges upwards with age, 29.1% in 80 to 39, 30.2% in 40 to 59, 32.3% in 60 to 80. The increase is modest but consistent. Income differences in mental illness history. It is a clear gradient here. Prevalence is highest for income under 35K, about 37%, drops to 27.6% for 35 to 75K, and 21.4% for over 75K. Lower income aligns with higher reported history. Let's put age, income, and mental health on one frame. The blue line is mean income by age. The dashed right line is mental illness prevalence. During early career years, income rises and the right line falls. Later, as earnings stop growing and start to drop around retirement, the right line edges up. The chart visualizes two counter-moving curves. Higher earning year coincide with lower prevalence. Later life income declines coincides with an uptick. Let's look at this heat map, age and income. Across every age band, prevalence decreases as income rises. Within each income band, older groups are a bit higher than younger groups. So the dominant pattern is income gradient, moderated by age. How common are the key risk factors? In the whole dataset, with all the populations, sedentary lifestyle is about 42.7%. Unhealthy diet is about 41.4%. Smoker 40.2%, unemployment 36.2%, poor sleep 31.4%, chronic conditions 32.9%, heavy drinker 24.4%, family history of depression 26.9%. These are common exposures, which set up the next comparison. Now let's compare the two groups directly. Bars to the left are the with mental illness history group. To the left, without. The largest separation is unemployment, 46.4 versus 31.8. Noticeable but smaller gaps: poor sleep, no post-secondary education. Several behaviors are widespread in both groups with only small gaps, such as sedentary lifestyle. Now let's look at some multi-domain exposure. So within the mental illness group, for the population who has at least one health risk factor is about 77%, has at least one lifestyle risk factor is 73.6%, has at least one socioeconomic disadvantage is about 65.8%. The population who exposed to risk behaviors, including substance, smoking, drinking, is about 67.4%. So this dashboard shows multi-domain exposure is the norm rather than exception. To wrap up, income shows the strongest gradient. Higher income aligns with lower prevalence across all ages. Age adds a gentle upward slope, especially later in life. Unemployment, sleep, and education stand out when we compare groups head-to-head. Most lifestyle risks are common across the board, so single-factor solutions won't be enough. What does this suggest for action? Pair economic stability, such as employment and education support, with behavioral health basics, such as sleep and activity, and tailor support across life course. Early career stressors look different from retirement age vulnerabilities. These graphs really emphasize that solving a mental health issue takes a multi-pronged effort. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.